Yep, that gave you
the grandmother wedding one. Oh, the Ziploc bag of poop. That's the one. That's the one. Get to.
having an amaretto sour.
I hate that drink.
I like it.
I think the reason I hate that drink is I think I had too many of them once. And it's just now. It's my body has
Turned against it.
has stuck. Well, has like memorized that taste as a taste of bad.
Taste of failure. Yeah.
All right, what was that? Oh yeah, Twitch. Twitch. That's live, but there's no one there.
You not put anything up?
Well, no, I mean, he did, but he's not there.
Oh yeah, I don't care about that. Well,
whatever.
whatever.
I have to watch a few ads first.
Fair.
Before I can watch the stream, because I'm not subbed to him. I need to resub, I guess. Can I resub? Do I have my Twitch? No, I don't have my Prime until September 11th. 11. All right, here's John talking. I can hear myself double.
Way to go.
Is that echoing happening on the stream?
I think that's happening. I think it's on Twitch.
Okay, because I was like,
I'm watching an ad right now.
Still way quieter than you. Why? My mic's turned up pretty high, and I'm peaking. I'm peaking sometimes. No, I'm not. I guess I can turn myself up. I think it's because I backed away from my mic slightly. So let's turn that up. All right, here I am turned up, and it's a little bit louder, hopefully.
But do you really want to base this right now based off?
No. I just want to make sure it's fine.
Yeah, it's true.
I mean, I'm gonna mess with it a little bit here, but I may need to do some more once Matt gets here and fixes his terrible broken issue. Ooh, that's not good. Needs more XLR cable. More leeway.
Hey, Matt, you got to deal with a double. You got to deal with a double. But two of us are echoing on the like almost immediate echo.
Yeah, it's like a double. Audio doubling. Audio doubling.
Yeah.
Like Ireland.
Yep. It's fixed.
Audio Ireland.
Well, it should be. I mean, somebody will listen.
All right, I'm gonna turn off my Discord.
It sounds like it's better.
Audio.
Your dick sword.
And then just listen to the Twitch, and we'll get some levels here, boys.
Okay.
All right, this is John talking at his normal volume, and then let's get Matt, and then TJ.
Hi, my name is Matt. I like potatoes.
Hey, TJ's here. We got a chair. We got a cup. Fuck you.
I still feel like I'm too quiet. I'm gonna turn myself up a tiny bit. All right, here I am talking. Let's listen to Matt, and then let's listen to TJ.
I'm gonna put this thing over it. Let's listen. Let's listen to me now.
All right. Well, that might fuck everything up, but I'm still
Sean.
here with the light.
All right, this is John talking again, and then let's do Matt and TJ one more time. I think so. Yeah, I'm peaking now.
Yeah, I'm also.
Let me try
Matt
that again.
Here.
This is John talking, and then let's talk to Matt.
And hey, I'm Matt. I can boost you more in Discord if you're clipping on your end.
Don't boost me in Discord. I'm not clipping that much. I'm not clipping. There's a little clip there. I'm gonna clip.
I mean, where is he at?
Yeah, I'm clipping.
Because you
Matt,
might just.
Can you help me fix my? Can you help me fix my microphone? And because it seems like I basically am either too quiet or clipping, so something must be wrong.
TJ, say something.
I have Discord turned on. Sorry, can you say it again?
He wanted me to say something. Welcome to Born in the 80s, episode 438. My name is John Danger, joined by my co-host.
Yeah, I'm showing you as like both the same level.
Yeah, you think so? I think so too, but like I don't know. I feel like it's
But if
gonna
you're
it's gonna clip a
clipping, you
lot.
should turn it down, and I'll boost it here, so that.
I'm not clipping too much, but I think I will if I laugh loudly.
Yeah, let me just boost this.
Because that's all yellow.
I'm turning you way up,
Don't turn me way up.
and then just adjust downward on your end.
All right, this is John talking his volume and thing, and I'm gonna not clip right now.
And then me also. Hi.
Shit, I gotta.
EJ.
All right, let's try that again because I could only hear Discord because I didn't turn it off yet. This is John at his volume and distance, and then Matt, and then TJ.
This is Matt. I am your Matt for the evening. Hi.
How come we make too many teeth that fit in our mouth? Doesn't fucking make sense.
Because our jaws are supposed to be bigger.
Okay.
I
think we're pretty good.
I was reading this book about breathing, and
mixer,
like our jaws are underdeveloped from not eating enough tough shit, and that fucks up our breathing.
Can you turn TJ down 5%?
Yeah, just a bit. I'm a bit louder.
Just a little bit. It's fucking crazy how different your stream sounds than what it sounds like on Discord, because you are so much louder on Discord than you are in your stream.
I am?
Anyway. No. Yeah.
That's the way he pushes it through.
Let's not worry about it. It sounds good on the stream now. Let's not fuck with it.
Yeah, it's just it would be either my input gain on Discord or
yeah, Discord fucks around with your audio quite a bit.
Because the voice meter that I'm using for routing has it actually less voice signal going to OBS, so it should be slightly quieter than Discord, but that's weird.
So I have noise reduction turned on Discord. I wonder if that's not helping.
Maybe.
Yeah, that'll just make you sound kind of like underwater.
All right, well, let's not worry about it.
All right, I'm gonna walk away while John starts the show.
Wait. Okay, well, I'm going to get a silent patch. Well, I can't do that because Matt's rubbing his navel against the microphone. I wanted to get a good silent patch so that we could get some
baseline
background so I can do noise reduction if I have to, because that does help.
Yeah, he's got some sort of air conditioner on or something. Sorry.
Well, I have a fan on as well. You can see I'm not talking. You can see my thing lighting up. So I'm gonna fix that, but I'm gonna be silent. All right, that's probably enough of a baseline. I'm gonna turn my fan down.
Okay.
Loud to medium.
I saw Matt's ass. Hey Matt, I saw your
How's the show
ass.
going so far?
Didn't
great.
start because I was
okay,
realizing that my fan was on. Okay, well, let's start now that Matt's left, I guess, the second time for some reason.
What's he doing?
I don't know. There's probably a cat.
Oh, it's true. There's 5 of them now. Enough cats for like a few meals.
Let's wait for Matt to get back before we start.
Of course.
Yeah, well, I don't want to start without him. Check out this one my ants eat.
Oh, nice.
Keeping busy. Honey. My ants love this honey. Oh no. I've got some on my hands now. That's not even putting his headphones on.
I should have grabbed my Switch so I had something to fiddle with, but that's fine.
You should have, because Matt's just sitting here not listening. He's just watching his computer screen.
I'm kind of... Well, I guess I could. Fine.
No, don't leave. No, we haven't
I'm not
started.
going far.
Matt just is leaving it. Matt's leaving again. Guys.
See, I'm back.
Why
still kind of hear you.
No, now when we complain about Matt playing fucking World of Warcraft while we stream, and you've grabbed a Switch here.
Yeah, I do that sometimes.
That's too much.
It is.
Well,
Just
let's
shiny
see.
hunting.
Let's wait. That's gonna put his headphones on this time.
There we
How's
go.
the show? It's
I
go
haven't
good.
started it.
Oh,
All right. Ready? Welcome to Born in the 80s, episode 438. I'm your host, as always, John_Danger, joined by my co-hosts.
Matt Haig.
And then Mr. TJ of May, whoever I am. Yeah, you didn't really commit to that, John, because I know
No,
you were
he-
worried about getting interrupted.
Here's
What?
a video
like to talk
about
in different ways.
paranormal activity.
Yeah. We should do another ghost episode.
Yeah, that'd
should.
be great.
No, I don't know if you know this or not, but you were doing an exact impression of somebody that does those like paranormal videos. I think his
Oh,
name is,
really?
like Chills or something.
Oh, okay.
Look at him up.
Yeah, there's a lot of
Same
people on
cadence.
YouTube. There's a lot of people on YouTube that really have cadences like that really bothers me.
I don't.
I'm like,
Yeah.
You mean
So-
the forced up and down of their intonation, but
Mm,
very
I mean-
monotone throughout?
No, it's like, I don't know. It's like people will sometimes do, like, there's a YouTube channel that I watched a video on that was like an informative video about how fucked up eels are and how we don't know how eels reproduce still, because it's a mystery and it's the ocean. And the video was cool, but like it was just the style that the guy had, in the video, where it was very presenterly and he was British, and there's lots of like stock photo images after he would say things, and I was like, all right, whatever. I subscribed because I was like, that was an interesting video and concept. And then every video is very similar to that, and he puts out like 3 a week. And it's like, how can you watch more than one of these? Because the style is just, it's so done. Like, it's just, that bothers me. Stuff that feels really overdone. I don't like TV shows like that, honestly. You know what I mean? Like when you watch like reality shows or other things that are just way over the top produced. It's
Yeah.
like, it really turns me off. Anyway, that's my thought.
I'm gonna put a YouTube video in our Discord video recommendations. It
Okay.
is 23 minutes long, but it is very worth it.
Uh-huh.
It's about state birds. Just while we were on the topic of explainer videos
Well,
and stuff.
State
Yeah, okay.
birds.
State birds. State birds.
Oh
Watch it.
yeah, I don't know. I don't think we talked about this on the podcast, but this is something that my wife and I got turned on to
John's
through the
wife.
Found Footage Festival. Lauren and I started doing because of the Found
John's
Footage
Lauren.
Festival, but IMG mining.
Yeah, so
Um,
explain this.
Okay,
Would-
cool, perfect.
Is this different than your than whatever it was with your fucking extra hard drive that you're doing for whatever that crypto is that uses hard drive space, not
No.
processing
So
power?
this is
No,
so this
is mining content.
Yeah, this is content mining. So
oh
basically, the way that things are set up, I have no clue what. Maybe I need to look into this some more. But there is some phone, some YouTube, something. It must be phones, because there's no way that people are using video cameras only.
okay.
Yeah.
Because some of these are from years ago, some are not. But that I think there must be a thing that either auto uploads things to YouTube, or people just upload files without changing the name.
I think
so
it's
they
the
just have
second one.
default file. Okay. Yeah, I think that's correct too.
Because
all
the kind
these-
of content you mine from this is people
Well,
that wouldn't
because-
necessarily be able to change that.
Well, yeah. So like,
Is
there.
this like finding things that are called like _4511?
Yes,
.jpg?
correct. So that's
Yeah,
literally
okay.
what you do. So I have just searched IMG_3210, and what comes up is what appears to be a video of a lady singing, a 20-minute long video actually of maybe a church, and and it looks very like wicker walls. So this might be in like a tropical area.
Okay.
Is it English? No, she's not singing. She's just talking about Jesus. And that's a 20-minute video with 50 views. Let's go down here. There's IMG 3210. It's 11 seconds. It appears to be a high school girls basketball game clip that's 11 seconds long. 3 views. Oh, it's not even a picture. An 11-second picture someone has uploaded to YouTube. But that is what IMG mining is. It is finding videos that people. It's just like home movies, basically.
Yeah.
Here in IMG 3210, there's a video with 4 views of someone going down one of those. What are they called? Like the metal like tube slides that you ride a little cart on down like a hill. What are they called?
Oh,
You know what I'm talking about?
Metal. What?
Yeah, like the cart, like the Alpine carts.
Oh, like the thing that murdered that kid in Action Park.
Yeah, basically, yeah. So it's just like a big like metal half tube that you're on like a little luge cart on that you just ride down. And you have brakes, and you can get way too fast. I remember when I went to there's I think at Christmas Mountain, which is a local ski place. I think they have one of these for the summer. They have these, and I remember watching from the ski lift, because we just went up the ski lift just to look at the just to get up the top of the mountain or whatever, and you'd see people doing it underneath the ski lift, and if you wanted to, you could spit on them, but I didn't do that. But I definitely could see someone who was like 9 or 10 doing that. But anyway, I saw someone totally wipe out on a corner where they just were going too fast, and they like rimmed out of the metal tube and just like flew off into the. It was like, wow, you really hurt yourself on this thing. So of course I wanted to do it because I was a kid, and I did, and it was terrifying because I can't believe I've never told this story. But I specifically remember going down it super fast. It was awesome. I remember the person in front of me did this, but I didn't. They did not put the brakes on at the end, so they ran full speed into the person who hadn't disembarked from their little cart. And it was like the guy got really mad at him, and I was like, I could see that. Like, why would you not brake? It says to brake at the bottom. But anyway, I was going full speed, and a fucking grasshopper jumped out and landed on my chest, like right in front of my face while I was going down on this thing, and I fucking flipped out because it came out of nowhere. It landed on me. I don't know why I'm terrified of grasshoppers. I think it's because when I was really little, like one of my earliest memories is being bitten by one while I picked it up, and it fucking hurt.
They bite.
And so now I just
they gotta eat leaves. Weird.
Yeah, so they got well, they'll bite you if you try and fuck around with them too much. So now I catch them and feed them to my aunts, but
as revenge.
That is revenge, yes. Although I will say Kerrigan did a terrible job. That's the queen ant that Matt caught for me. I gave her half of a mealworm, and they didn't take it.
Wow.
So they ate the mealworm that I gave them like a week ago, but they don't eat if they don't need it. So you just put out food for them, and they'll take it if they want it. But yeah, so grasshopper landed on me while I was going down. What are they called though? It's like an alpine tube ride. Any thoughts?
Luge tracks? I don't know.
The one at Action Park was called the Alpine Slide.
Alpine Slide. Galena. I'm sorry, not Christmas Mountain. Chestnut Mountain Resort, which is just outside of Galena. This is definitely the one we went to. Alpine Slide is what they call it, yeah. Alpine Slide. Race down 2,000 feet of tailored track on the banks of the Mississippi. All children less than 48 inches tall and under the age of 7 must ride with an adult.
Yeah, that looks super dangerous.
Single ride is $10. Oh, it's so awesome though. I remember doing it as a maybe like 10 or 11-year-old. Yeah, there it is. Yeah, and there's the if you watch the video on the Chestnut Mountain Resort, they have a video of the Alpine Slide, and you can see the part where the slide goes underneath the ski lift. So I remember doing that. Yeah, they have like slow and they have like brake signs, but people just don't do it and they wipe out all the time, which is fun to watch from the thing. So 5-ride book, $45. Save yourself $5 if you want to do 5 rides.
God, I want to do that though. I want to ride it.
But I found this cool. This IMG is actually cool
so bad.
Yeah, it seems to be a guy on his phone in Japan because or Korea. I can't tell because the video is pretty blurry, but the text on one of the signs he goes under appears to be some sort of Japanese or Korean lettering. But then he turns the camera around to his face and smiles. He's quite a handsome man, so I'll say he's just having a good time on the slide, videotaping himself. I'll put that on the old YouTube thing as well. We put that state birds are garbage thing, but it's just something fun to do in your spare time because it's literally like this video is uploaded in 2013 and has 4 views.
Oh,
like,
yeah.
It's just
I forgot we were talking about image mining. I was just really
correct.
into this slide.
Yeah. So you just find like insane videos with no views because you like don't realize. I mean, maybe this is something that you don't think about very often is that how much YouTube is used.
Yeah.
So
how many millions of hours of content are on there that nobody watches.
I'm a big fan of this subreddit Deep Into YouTube. This is like what the people that populate that subreddit have to go through to like mine through shit.
But the IMG tag is perfect because it's like IMG underscore and then just 3 numbers, and you'll find like dozens and dozens of videos with whatever like number combination you put in.
I'd imagine that would work well with also MOV underscore 4 numbers.
Oh yeah, sure. I'm sure there are other ones
that
you can do. I was just in the Found Footage Festival's weekly VCR Party Live show they do on Tuesdays. They talked about getting into because they of course were for like, well, still probably are not able to get into their like office very often to like get clips to share. It's mostly they trying to figure out ways to spend their time, and one of the fun things they can do and find this essentially found footage because 3 people have watched this. Find this video of just really dumbass shit people upload, and it's fucking gold. Like you can find some fucking weird ass shit. I think Smaggy, Lauren, and I spent an evening just like looking through various IMGs and finding weird ass videos. They're all called like IMG underscore 4 numbers and then .mov or .mp4. So I don't know what form. I'm assuming it's got to be iPhones because that's what everybody has. Yeah. Just automatically name video files IMG underscore.
Yep. Well, and most digital cameras in general, because I think the MP4 that's gonna be your Android phones then.
Yeah, I think even like my Canon PowerShop used that naming, or PowerShot guy used that naming convention.
Yeah, it's 100%. It's 100% iMessage. It's iPhone does this because it says an iMessage. Pictures show up as IMG underscore 4 letters and then .jpeg. Why is the image showing up as that and not the image? It's because
for the really short ones, .jpeg. That's for any of the iPhones using its what the fuck they call it? Its live feature where you take a picture, but it takes like a 6 to 10 second video too.
Yeah.
So you get the picture, but then you have the video, but it still has like the .jpeg with it. It's weird.
Well, cool.
Well,
I'm having a fun time just fucking around looking up just weird ass videos.
So on the subject of YouTube shit, I kind of stumbled into. Well, let me give a little background.
Wait, one question before you get to this. Just on the live, because I have Discord Nitro because I want to throw $10 away every month.
Yeah, of course.
I've gotten a YouTube Premium 3-month free code.
Okay.
So I don't know if either of you want that.
I already have YouTube Premium.
Well, for you, it would extend it, I would think. For me, my
No,
problem
it
is
does not extend it. It is for new users only, which is the
Shit.
worst shit ever. That is the dumbest shit ever when you give like a perk and it's like, oh, it's just for new users. Like, oh, so for me, it's not a perk because I'm already paying for this.
It's just nothing.
So it's not a perk. You can't count that as a perk.
I'm in the same boat and I pay for the family plan, so
yeah, so it's pointless because YouTube Premium is like, just depending on how much you use YouTube. But I know Spanky argued about this because he doesn't want to ever pay Google for anything, but that he only ever uses YouTube on his computer, and that's got the what is it? AdBlock Plus will block ads and videos for that. But I mean, like for me, if I'm watching on my TV or on my phone and stuff, it's just I could never go back to watching ads on YouTube.
Well, I was doing it for the audio only version of YouTube Music back before.
Yeah, which is what I have. I use that too. Yeah.
Yeah. And even the video audio will continue playing on YouTube itself when in minimize mode, because that's not a default feature anymore. So anyway, so none of us will use it. I don't know who will. You know what? Listeners, all three of you, join discord.boredintheeighties.net and go ahead and hit John up, and he'll give you that 3-month free code for YouTube Premium.
Maybe Spanky will use it.
Yeah, I'm sure he'd appreciate an opportunity to not give money to Google.
Well, but he'll have to put his credit card in, I'm assuming, for this, because I'm sure it's free for 3 months, and then.
Well, I could give him a one-time use burner card for privacy, because
I've been running into websites that like detect that and reject it.
Yeah, I don't get it a lot, but it's been helpful. I use it for some recurring charges and some some things I only want to do one-time use.
If you were ever to subscribe to like a pornography website, and you don't want to give them your credit card, you just get one of those Visa prepaid credit card.
No, you just go to privacy.com. Actually, I don't know if does it show up as like privacy.com on the billing?
No, it's not. I'll tell you this: it's not because I don't care about what it shows up on the billing. It's because if you ever try and cancel that, good luck.
Oh,
yeah.
Really?
Yeah, because of course, because they're not going to try and get your out of that too easily. Yeah. And it's Matt, like it'll be $25 a month or something, and you're like, that's a lot.
Matt, you can either hide the source or not hide the source. It is your choice with privacy. And also the basic plan is free, which we're not sponsored. I wish we were.
Yeah, no, I just use privacy.com. I have a whole card set up for trials and another card set up for websites or purchases on websites that seem super sketchy, and I don't want to give them my actual credit card.
I've never heard of privacy.com.
Yeah. You sign up, you give them
one time
bank
so you basically they create a card for you.
Yeah, they create like a disposable card. So it can either be like a one-time use thing, or it can just be like, I use this card for this bill, and it's always this amount. That's the limit.
That's like an incredibly good idea as well. Not just for that, but like for fraud. Yeah. Because credit card numbers just get fucking ripped off the internet so much. And it's like, if I'm going to a site that I don't know very well, like, I'm not going to give you my actual credit card number.
Yeah, just kind of like an additional, it's like a proxy server for your credit card.
Yeah. Well, so, isn't this what Bitcoin has been built to fix?
Kind of. Although I was wondering how privacy.com makes money on free people, because it is free for most users. And then I started digging into it. I'm like, oh yeah, they just get the credit card fee.
Yep.
Yeah.
Just transaction fees.
Yeah, easy peasy.
Is that Banjo?
Oh, yeah, puppy.
And a cat.
I've got Banjo. Their parents are at, or their family, our neighbor's family is at Kalahari Resort this weekend. And
oh, nice.
Steve is not a big fan of Banjo, and Banjo is a herding breed. So he's very, very attentive of the cats and making sure that they are going in and out of rooms and that they're, finding their way. And the cats don't like the dog following them around everywhere.
Yeah.
But Steve has actually seems to have accepted it because Lauren's yelling at Banjo because she knows that he's bothering Steve. Lauren.
Is he in here?
It's been going well. They were touching noses.
Yeah, they were being nice out there. I just didn't realize he was in here with you.
Yeah, nope. He came in here while I'm recording. Hi.
Yes.
Now I've got a dog and cat standoff in my
Heard you
computer.
talking about
My computer room. Here, they're just hanging out. There's my ant shelf, by the way. I got it set up.
Did you show the IMG from our wedding anniversary?
I didn't. No, we're on a podcast. There's no video. Oh, good. The dog, Judy's here now, so we got everybody in the room.
That's a good show.
Just hanging out.
It's a tight ship you're on.
And now everyone is left. All right. So no, that seems like privacy.com. Never heard of that. That's really cool. Like I'm definitely gonna look into using that because holy shit, it's annoying to have your credit card stolen, which has happened to me multiple times. I mean, it's great. This is why always use your credit card online. Never use a debit card online because if your credit card number gets nicked and somebody decides to, for some reason, create a Spotify account using your credit card, you can just cancel it in 2 seconds and they just give you the money back immediately because it's a credit card and they have insurance and shit for that. If you're using your debit card, it's money that came out of your bank account. So it's much harder to get that physical money back instead of a charge.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So yeah, don't use debit cards online if you can help it because it's just is much more difficult to get your money back if somebody tries to defraud you. Not that you won't, because you will. It just will take a while.
Yeah, it'll just take a while.
Because they
fraud alert. I ran into this thing. I since we're an old man podcast now, we'll do a fraud alert. I found this super cheap, obviously fraud synth a while ago, and I was like, well, okay, I'll either get a really cool shitty knockoff or I'll just get nothing. And then turned out it was this fraud was more complex than I thought. You buy the thing, and then when you dispute the charge, they have access to some shipping database, and when you look up a USPS tracking number, it just shows the zip code it was delivered to. It doesn't show the full address. And when PayPal's looking into a disputed charge, the proof they ask for is a shipping a tracking number, so they are able to find one in your neighborhood around the right around the right time and say, hey, this is that, and then it buys them more time, or possibly they get away with it.
God,
jeez.
So
bill. Yeah, so I don't know how. I assume that they just have access to Amazon shipping records or something. Some big company that's shipping everywhere constantly.
I need to unsubscribe to so much shit. We were talking about fraud, so I opened up my credit card statement, my live credit card statement. God, I just fucking hate. I hate looking at the balance and my they keep upping the credit that I have, which is fine, but I'm never gonna spend $14,000 on my credit card.
Oh jeez.
You could spend it once and then fake your own death.
No, but I put every bill possible on my credit card, so the balance is always so high. I only use my credit card for purchases, but I just was gonna make sure I didn't have any frauds, because every time we talk about it, I want to look in there and just make sure, because you have to look like a hawk, because if somebody tries to slip in a fucking Spotify account on your credit card, you might not catch it, especially if you already are paying for Spotify. You just oh, your Spotify bill's $20 a month instead of $10 a month or whatever, and you're like,
and that's why is that? That's actually why I turn on notifications on all of my privacy cards, because then I'll see it exactly when it happens and for how much. Oh yeah, that's coming up, or oh yeah, I shut this off.
Yeah. Plus, it gets me off a little bit to see it declined. Yeah, fuck you.
Yeah.
It does really bother me though when like companies don't put like a very good like description in the description line of purchases, and it's like, what the fuck is this for? Like I just saw Microsoft charge for $15.81. I'm like, what the fuck is that? Did I bet? I'm like, oh, that's Game Pass. That's
Yep.
Game Pass. It doesn't say that, but
Yeah.
you know, that's what it is. Whereas
Yeah.
like some of the other ones will actually tell you
More
what
like
it is.
Game
Like let's say if you buy something on like Google Play, it'll say Google payment, but then it'll have like the game company that you bought it from, and it's like, oh, okay, yeah, I paid for that. I spent 73 cents on Pokemon Go, like, because I think I got a $5 thing, but I had part of a coupon anyway.
Yeah.
So, oh my god,
So
fucking Disney Plus is fucking $8 a month now, $7.99.
Yeah. Yep.
I need to cancel Disney Plus, and I need to cancel.
But how are you gonna watch your Marvel movies and your Star Wars?
Nobody watches. Oh yeah, let me watch the terrible Star Wars movies they're doing. Like once I'm done watching Mandalorian, I'm good. I started watching that. I finished the first season finally.
Oh, yeah.
There you go.
See,
I recommend
liked-
The Bad Batch. It's quite good.
I like that. Is The Bad Batch an hour, or is it 20 minutes?
I think the first episode's like an hour, and then all the other ones are like 20 minutes. It's like a double first episode or something.
I find it difficult to get into shows that are an hour long.
Oh, dude,
If that makes sense.
You should watch Invincible if you haven't yet. I'm all in.
I should. It does sound really interesting. I would like to see it. You know, it really reminds me of.
It scratches a lot of the same like itches as The Boys, but it's like, I don't know. It's approaching it from a different direction that is totally unique and cool.
So that reminds me actually of another comic, because it starts with an I, and
is it Invisibles?
No, it's Irredeemable. Which is I really like this series, Irredeemable. It won the Eisner Award for Best Series in 2010. Or no, it was nominated. Sorry, in 2012 it won Best Writer for Irredeemable. So Irredeemable is a comic series. I got it on a Humble Bundle, which has been like the best way to buy comics, by the way, is just follow like Humble Bundle. And like I think early on in the pandemic they were like, here's every issue of The Walking Dead for $25. I was like, sweet. Now I just use my iPad to read comics, and it's great.
Invincible is about 40-minute episodes, by the way.
Oh, okay. So I got Irredeemable, which was let me tell you the premise of that, and you might be sound interesting. It's, what if Superman became evil and just started killing everyone?
Nice.
That's the plot.
That's not unlike
awesome.
This.
That's what I was like. I remember hearing about this, and I was like, I wonder. But this is like literally like he becomes a psychopath and just goes around finding everyone and murdering everyone, and just is like,
that Irredeemable is.
Yes, it's like, it's not just like, oh, he becomes a bad guy. It's like, no, he's literally kind of genociding is what he's doing.
Did any of you see Brightburn?
No, I heard about that.
The thing James Gunn made when he was like blacklisted for that month. But that's also like, what if Superman, when he was a teenager and he started getting like his powers, also just was definitely going to become a serial killer? Well, I haven't seen it. I was just wondering if it pulled it off.
Yeah, this is like, I guess the way to describe this would be like, you know how like Dr. Manhattan realizes that he's not like a human and above like humans and their troubles, but it's like, what if Dr. Manhattan was like a dick about it? Like, is what this is, because the guy like realizes that like nobody is on his level, and like, you know, with like any superhero, there's always like will be like collateral damage, and he'll do something good, but then everyone will bitch about it constantly, and it just becomes the point was like, I'm unkillable.
Yeah.
And you guys should like, and fuck all of y'all. Like, and so he's just like, I'm gonna kill everybody because I can, because it doesn't matter. Whereas like Dr. Manhattan was like, no, this matters. I'm just gonna go to Mars. Like, you know what I mean? Whereas this guy's like, no, this matters. So I'm gonna kill everyone. It's really, a really good read. It's super long series. It's 10 volumes. But I would assume this, like, it just seems like that's like the thing nowadays is like they're going to be making like movies or TV series out of all of these like comic series that are like, because I think
I mean,
Invincible was like a series that was, you know, pretty popular, like,
yeah,
but
well,
not like a main Marvel type thing.
It's Robert Kirkman, so it's the guy that wrote The Walking Dead.
Oh, okay.
And everyone's favorite Walking Dead star, Stephen Ewan, is in this.
Oh, nice. Oh, yeah, I think I remember reading that.
He's the main. He is Invincible.
Yeah, the art style looks very. Wow, I'm looking at the comic art style. And it looks very much like the cartoon. They did a good job doing.
Yeah, it looks like, I don't know. It's somewhere between like Saturday morning cartoon and like an Archie's comic.
Mm-hmm. So it's like, so Invincible is just like a bad dad show.
Well,
like
I haven't seen all of it yet, so there's like, yeah. I mean, it kind of sounds like what you were saying, or like, what if Superman was just like, nobody can touch me, like,
yeah.
And
well,
but then what if also the government realized what was going on and they were like, shit, we can't touch him. So we're going to pretend we don't know about this while we secretly try and like develop a way to take him down.
Yeah. Yeah, the Irredeemable one's really interesting because it's just like, there's like, it reminds me a little bit of, I don't know if you've seen Battlestar Galactica, the new
only the original.
Like, but it reminds me of just the fact that they are basically one step away from being murdered all the time, the people trying to like stop him, because they basically have to like just jump through multiple time portal jump things to get away from him, basically, and buy themselves like 20 minutes to think of something, because he's just so unstoppable, you know, and he can find people anywhere. And it's just interesting. It's like, how do you kill a god, basically? And I won't spoil it, but it
with the Suicide Squad,
basically. Yeah, Suicide Squad, get him in there. We talked about that last week, though, right? We saw that, or 2 weeks ago, maybe?
Yeah. But that's I don't know if you've seen the first one, but that's kind of that whole reason that the Suicide Squad is made. Like, what if we had to like take down an enhanced individual?
Yeah. Well, yeah. When it's like, yeah, I like, that's one thing I really like about The Boys, which kind of does that really well, especially the TV series, of just like, you know, like superheroes aren't like all good, if that makes sense.
No.
Like, if you had that type of power, there are people that would be like the what's her, Starlight, who's actually a good person, who wants to do good. At this point, of course, over years and years, you might get jaded, but the point is like there's people that are dicks, but what if the dick could kill you with the snap of its finger? You know, like, people can do that and are protected by a mega corporation with an HR department trying to protect its image and stock price, so you can get away with doing lots of shit. I love that TV show. It is so much better than the comics, which is absolutely bad.
Irredeemable, at least the issue I'm seeing on this Wikipedia, has an afterword by Grant Morrison, who did The Invisibles, which is the best comic of all time.
Well, anyway, Irredeemable is pretty cool. I liked it a lot. I would say it drags a bit. It goes on a little too long. The original artist leaves about halfway through, and so it gets worse. Sorry.
It just gets like scratchy crayon drawings.
No, it's just a different style.
Everything's
that I don't
like
as much as the
labeled with what
guy.
it is.
That always really bothers me with series that go on long enough where the artists change, and it's like, maybe you should have stopped at a point, because now it looks different, which is like, but then when you get like, you know, one of who's the guy, the Boys guy? Is it
Grant Ellis?
No.
Is it Garth Ennis? Garth Ellis? Elvis?
No, not the TV series of Preacher. The comics. Garth Ennis did that. I think Steve Dillon did the whole run, right? No, he didn't. Glenn Fabry switched over. Yeah, and that did the thing too, where like at the end it was a different fucking artist. No, painted covers. Okay, yes, that's one. So like Preacher, you read the entire comic book series as the same artist the whole time. It looks great. Same thing with I was thinking of Transmetropolitan, which is also Steve Dillon as an artist, and the whole thing is that it just bothers me when they change that. And maybe that's the thing that's been big with comics people forever, but
yeah,
I'm sure Lance
like
has bitched about this to me at some point, but I never thought about it until I like got into comics. But
I never really read comics until I got into like the Star Wars comics this like past couple months, and it's the same thing. Like it caught me off guard when between like 2 volumes all like the character design and shit changed, and like obviously it's Star Wars, like it was planned this way to like it's not just one artist for all of Star Wars, but I just figured they would have more consistency. It was super off, like off-putting.
Speaking of like Star Wars and artists and anime, just to do that, did you see the trailer for Star Wars Visions?
I did not.
The Disney Plus thing. So yeah, they have it's like a TV series that's going to be happening in. Let me look at the end of the trailer here. It's coming out. Oh wait, streaming. Tell me the fucking date, you piece of shit. September. And I think it is. I guess it's a series.
Is it like an anthology thing?
So yeah, I don't know. Like it sounds like it's like a story told through. I don't know that much about it. Maybe I should look up this, but I believe each episode is directed by a different anime studio.
Yeah,
because they kind of do their own takes on stuff, and so it's really awesome seeing like the different art styles.
This seems like a Star Wars version of Love, Death, and Robots, which I would be totally down for.
I thought of like the Animatrix.
Yeah, same thing, same deal.
Where it's like let's let these anime studios come up with their own little mini stories in this universe. Presenting all new creative takes in the galaxy. There's a series of animated short films. Okay, so they're separate. Short films. Oh, it's not a series. So there's just going to be 9. It's 9 episodes. Fucking. I just like watching
this
that and
black
just
and white
like Trigger and IG.
Awesome. It's like an old school samurai film.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, dude,
yeah. Well, I mean, when you
so
think about when you think about Star Wars,
like
it's samurai movies.
Like literally Darth Vader's whole design is ripped off of like samurai masks.
Exactly. So there's some really cool shit, and so maybe I got to hold on my Disney Plus subscription a little bit more because I like anime. And does Disney Plus? No, Disney Plus doesn't have the Studio Ghibli stuff because Disney gave the rights over. All the Studio Ghibli stuff's on HBO Max now.
And one episode stars Alison Brie, so you have to keep it around for that.
Yeah, I saw the voice acting that they've got for the dubs will be really good. As always, Disney puts a lot of money into that. Yeah, the black and white one looks very cool. But they got some really good studios. Like I said, Trigger is one of my favorite animation studios right now. And that's awesome. So I'm looking forward to that. So I just wish that, like, I guess, when I say like the Star Wars movies and all the stuff that Disney's been putting out have been disappointing. But then when I think about it, not really. Just the main trilogy series kind of went in a disappointing way.
Yeah.
I still haven't seen 9 and I don't really plan on it.
I stand by that episode 7 was exactly what it needed to be. It like after the prequels and everything, it needed to just like put people at ease. And so like the fact that they literally copied the original trilogy for that movie makes sense. But then
I didn't love 7, but I didn't hate 7. I thought it was all right. I had a great time watching it. You know what I mean? It was fun. And 8 I didn't like, and then I watched it again and then I liked it.
Yeah.
And I watched it again and I loved it because it
grows on me every time I watch it.
Is that you're just like, there's so much in this movie, like in terms of like just thoughts and plot and how it tries to. And I think what I really didn't like about it when I first time I saw it was how much that movie tries to misdirect you as the viewer because you don't know what's going on, and you're kind of mad. You're like, what the fuck's going on with this ship? Fucking A, listen to Poe. And then you're like, oh, and then you watch it again and you're like, what a dick they are. Like, like what the fuck is wrong with this guy? And then like you start to get it and you're like, oh, I understand this film a little bit more. And then I heard the ninth one just kind of goes to like an ending that's just not satisfactory.
Well, see,
like,
people got mad on Twitter, so they were just like, undo.
Yeah. And that's like, no, I'm not interested in that. Like you take a swing, you don't just fucking stop swinging halfway through and bunt it. You know what I mean? Yeah, you might get on base, but it wasn't a home run either.
I feel like that was like the peak of people taking Twitter seriously, though. Like, I feel like there was a time where companies were like, oh shit, Twitter's freaking out. That means everybody in the world's freaking out. And now it's kind of just like, Twitter is just Twitter.
Which is really interesting because when you think about it, like for all their like ability to create the Marvel universe, like those movies have been pretty like free of that type of criticism and like pushing the content basically. You know what I mean? Like the people will bitch like, oh, Age of Ultron wasn't that great, but it's like they didn't change anything in the sequels because of that. Really?
Yeah, I mean, it's because it's because like
they got their
Kevin
story
Feige or
planned
whatever.
out.
He's got his plan and he doesn't give a shit what you think about it. Like he'll make small tweaks
which is what kind of sucked about that third Star Wars movies. I mean, they switched directors and like it was just like it sounded like they were like so worried about Star Wars that they were like, we can't make a mistake with this. Let's just go back to J.J. Abrams. And
same thing happened with the Solo movie. They were like, oh shit, the Lego movie guys are being too funny. Let's fire them. Who's somebody who will definitely just do whatever the studio says? Ron Howard. All right, cool.
That's the thing that they really don't like about a lot of the Star Wars content is it really feels like it's been had all the corners, sanded down basically.
But
which is why Mandalorian is great because
and that's
it's like
why
they kind of let them be hands off on that.
The Mandalorian taking off is it skyrocketed Dave Filoni into that leadership position. So if he has more like power and he's able to keep like a constant vision, then I think it'll be a lot better going forward.
And I think they really just need to get away from the fucking trilogy. Yeah. And the Skywalker saga. Just be like, let's take and do shit like Mandalorian, like what they did with Bad Batch, is just like, let's tell other stories that were happening in this universe that aren't involving all this like fucking shit that 40-year-old men cream their jeans about.
It's an entire galaxy, an entire universe. Let's not focus on this one family too much.
Well, yeah, especially when you think about
the thing I love about the like Clone Wars stuff is you see that even the Jedi versus Sith isn't really that huge of a deal because there's the Force is like a thing that transcends countless planets and cultures, and they all have like their different words for it and their different traditions. It's just Jedi is the label that these dudes slapped on it. So like the witches and all that like more mystical shit.
I really appreciate the well, at least the expanded universe books I read that take place after the trilogy, where they kind of get into that too, and it's really interesting kind of seeing what the people are going to be able to do with that now that they've gotten some more freedom to be not tied up with this Disney fucking movie making machine, basically, especially because it seems like the Marvel shit is going to have big problems because that fucking Black Widow movie didn't do great, which isn't necessarily, it's a bad time to put a big movie out because I don't think people are going back to the movies. But I don't know if Suicide Squad did great, but I don't think that they care because they're really pushing their streaming service.
Yeah. I don't know. How did Shang-Chi come out?
I'm looking. That is coming out like this coming weekend, like Friday, if I remember correctly.
Yeah.
I'm looking up.
Like, I'm the
Suicide
target
Squad.
market for this. And I'm like, the idea of going to a movie theater is so far outside of my brain right now that, like,
Yeah, for sure. So that Suicide Squad movie was, I think, really well received, and I think it was like the #1 movie, and it's only made $150 million worldwide. You know, which I'm sure it costs more than that to make. Like, and that is a movie that was I think, yeah. Let me look at the rankings here.
But like, and then how do you factor in like new HBO subscribers and stuff? Oh God, Free Guy. Yeah, I was excited about Free Guy like a year and a half ago.
So even so, like, you see that Free Guy movie has been #1 for 2 weeks in a row now, and it's doing well, and that's still only made $180 million worldwide.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Like, even big movies are not hitting. You know what I mean? Like, and plus, like, was anyone gonna see Black Widow? Black Widow made $370 million worldwide. Like, this movie still did well, but you see, like, fucking everybody being like, "Oh man," it's like, this movie did fine. I'm not gonna watch it because I don't care, but I almost want to watch it just because Rachel Weisz is in it.
And that girl from Midsommar's in it.
Yeah, it's true. But I guess this is the summer movie blockbusters are starting to come back, because Fast 9 came out, Suicide Squad, Free Guy, Black Widow. I think Shang-Chi, I don't think anyone's going to go see that in the US. Have you heard any buzz about this movie? I don't know anyone in it except for Awkwafina. And I think the main guys...
I'm excited about it, but I'm excited to watch it on streaming.
That's the thing, is that they've ruined us.
Yeah, like,
is that now it's like,
I'm not gonna pay the premium price either. I'm just gonna wait until it's included.
I mean, that's one thing I really appreciate about what HBO Max is doing with their theatrical releases. You know, any Warner theatrical release, it's available on their app for I think 2 or 3 weeks, maybe two like a month maybe, and then you can't watch it, you know, until it comes out. So you can either see it in the theaters or pay, you know, the $15 a month for your HBO subscription to watch it, which is nice. But I went and saw Suicide Squad in the theaters because I wanted to see it in the theaters.
Yeah, like the big action tentpoles are the ones that I'd say like, oh, we need to keep theaters around for this. But now I'm like, I don't know, it's fine watching this on a computer too. This one's cool. It's fine.
But like I'm just thinking about like the future for Marvel's like Phase 4 they're talking about, and it's like, are people really amped to see the Eternals?
I mean, I don't know. How amped were people for Guardians of the Galaxy?
I know, but it ended up being a really good movie.
Yeah, so it all depends. Like, they use all the
I think it's that they've been living off of these Avengers films, just building audience off of one another, and they don't have that anymore. And it's like, is the audience going to stick around for this?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like,
but that's what they're trying to do with like the TV shows and stuff. Like, we don't have Steve Rogers anymore, so.
Oh yeah, there's that Hawkeye movie.
Is that a movie or a TV show?
Oh, the Hawkeye TV show. You're right. Get out of here with these TV shows. I don't care about these.
No way. There's no way there would be a Hawkeye movie.
Are you talking about? Oh yeah. This has got the Sony stuff in here too. So there's the Venom Let There Be Carnage movie coming out in October. I never saw Venom. I heard it was all right.
I heard it was fine. It's not like the same.
It did
level as like
insanely well box office though. So I guess that was it. So they got that sequel, and then they got I forgot Morbius. Remember? Did you see the trailer for this Morbius movie?
That's the vampire dude, right?
Yeah, it's Jared Leto, vampire guy.
I saw the trailer for that at some point and then just completely blacked it out because I remember thinking, yeah, this is a Leto role. Oh, Matt Smith is in that. All the former Doctors just play Marvel villains now.
Basically.
Oh, fucking Jared Harris. All right.
Yeah, I mean, I might watch that if it's good. Like, I don't know.
It's going to take
the
itself too
Doctor's-
seriously is the problem.
There's the Doctor Strange Multiverse of Madness, I guess.
And Doctor Strange
Sam
is going to
Raimi
be in
is
this.
directing that.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, might be all right. Only problem is that one thing that is a red flag to me is that I'm reading about this movie is that this man named Scott Derrickson, who I don't know, was going to direct it but bowed out because he had creative differences with Marvel, which leads me to believe that maybe they are not allowing people to do things that they want, and we'll see. I do like Sam Raimi though, so maybe it'll turn out.
And a bunch of the Raimi Spider-Man shit showed up in that new Spider-Man trailer. Like OG Doc
I didn't even
Ock
watch
is in
that
it.
yet. Oh yeah, I did see the Dr. Octopus shows up again.
And there's
I'm just excited for
a Willem
Thor.
Dafoe goblin giggle in the background.
That's the only one that I'm excited to watch is the new Thor, because Taika Waititi is writing and directing it, and it's going to be hopefully good. Chris Hemsworth is back, but he won't be Thor. And Natalie Portman will be Thor.
Is he doing the whole Odin son thing?
Yeah. And Christian Bale is the bad guy. So cool. And Russell Crowe is playing Zeus in it, apparently. Anyway, so that sounds real fun. And I really liked the last Thor movie, so I hope that they can continue along making those. They've got Black Panther.
I love
2
that they
with
keep
no
doing
Chadwick
like
Boseman.
the like He-Man fonts for the Thor movies on like the official logo and everything.
Oh, did you see that the new Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse sequel is going to be directed by Joaquim dos Santos?
I don't know who that is.
He is one of the not Dave Filoni masterminds between the Avatar series on Nickelodeon.
Oh, okay.
I guess he directed a lot of those episodes and was one of the so that's kind of awesome. You got some post-Avatar content going.
Which thing did you say that was?
That is the Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse.
Oh,
sequel,
okay.
which was probably my favorite superhero movie.
It was very good. I recommend it watching it very high. It's a feast for your eye.
Honestly, it is
it's
one
got
of the
so many
best
different
looking
visual
animated
styles.
movies.
It blew my fucking mind the first time. And then I watched it again sober, and I was like, "This is really good."
Yeah. So then there's Captain Marvel 2 that's scheduled for next fall. We'll see. Oh, the WandaVision writer is writing the screenplay. I don't know if that's great, but we'll see. I didn't love the plot of that, but we'll see.
You just hated the part where it was connected to the Marvel universe in any way whatsoever. Like, I wish they just stayed in the TV box.
No. What I disliked about, and I've talked about this with WandaVision, is that it is a really interesting concept that they just turn into a Marvel movie. And it's like, they could have just been more interesting. It just turns into, here's the big bad guy.
It's a Marvel show.
And they fight. But that's not how all of them are. Like the Guardians of the Galaxy movies are different in that way.
I guess.
They don't just have necessarily a good guy versus bad guy fighting over good men. Anyway, I would say Captain Marvel, or the first one, was it called Captain Marvel?
Yeah.
Was the first one? Yeah.
Yeah.
That one was interesting because it was batshit insane fucking scrolls and craziness plot that they got way deep into that lore.
Oh,
and that was interesting.
There's going to be another Captain Marvel, but then there's also a Miss Marvel thing that I don't know if it's the same thing or a separate TV show.
It's the same thing. So it's or not the same thing. Sorry, Ms. Marvel is going to be in the Captain Marvel 2.
Okay.
Which is now called The Marvels. So I'm assuming it's going to be
that's Captain Marvel,
they're doing
Ms.
a Ms. Marvel
Marvel,
TV
and
show.
like Photon or Spectrum or whatever.
Guardians of the Galaxy. James Gunn will write and direct a new TV special featuring the Guardians of the Galaxy.
Oh yeah, he's doing a Christmas special.
He's doing a Christmas special, a la the Star Wars Christmas special in the Guardians of the Galaxy universe that they're going to film while they're filming the sequel, the Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3. So that is fun. And I guess the Christmas special will be set between the events of Thor: Love and Thunder and Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3, just as that was set between the Christmas special canonically happened in between the first Star Wars film and Empire, so which I love. And then there's the Ant-Man and the Wasp Quantumania. It's just crazy to me. Like, they're split. Like, they're making too many movies. I think they're gonna have a hard time. It's like what happened with Star Wars. They started making an annual Star Wars movie, and people were like, "Oh, nobody wants to see an annual Star Wars movie."
But yeah, I don't know. I think the plan is to just make all the stuff, and then people will consume as much of it as they want. I think they're just trying to crowd out like everything else. Like,
DC.
Yeah. Plus, I think Disney has a thing where they like to make new stuff so people don't dig too deep into their old stuff. Just no, look at this shiny new stuff.
Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3 isn't going to be out until 2023, which is insane. Isn't it great that they decided to fire him and then rehire him?
I mean, it was probably great for his contract.
I just think it's amazing that entire like bullshit happened.
But that's what I'm talking about.
That he was deleted.
That's like the peak of people thinking Twitter like matters.
Yeah, no, definitely. Well, no, but I mean, we had the what is his name? The guy who was going to be the new host of Jeopardy. He got canceled.
Yeah, the guy who Dick Cheney'd himself.
Anyway. It does sound like that wasn't just the fact that he said some dumb shit on his podcast, but also that.
But isn't he also the producer?
Yeah. When I say Dick Cheney himself, Dick Cheney was in charge of picking George Bush as vice president. He was like, "Oh, I looked everywhere. It's me."
Yeah, that's kind of exactly what happened. Even though everybody else liked like many of the other options that were available, like especially I think people really wanted LeVar Burton.
I like that guy that's friends with Bean Dad.
Oh, jeez.
So now they don't have a permanent host yet, so they're doing another figure it out. But anyway, it's going to be Mayim Bialik, who he was on the Big Bang Theory show. And it may or may not be an anti-vaxxer based on her past comments. But then she also recanted on that, so who knows?
This goes back into the topic I tried to bring up about an hour ago.
What was that, TJ?
So I
back
found
to me on YouTube. So a little bit of background is I'm kind of a game show junkie in general.
Oh yeah,
love me some game shows. It's kind of my thing. Oh, I got good veins. Got good veins for that.
I have terrible veins apparently.
But I've been getting into British game shows for a bit. I gotta get into Taskmaster like John wants me to. So he's got someone to talk.
You owe John nothing.
That is true. I owe nobody nothing.
Okay.
But one just randomly showed up in my recommendations. A British game show, executive produced and hosted by Bradley Walsh, the same guy who hosts the British version of The Chase. It's called Cash Trapped. And apparently it aired 5 years ago, but someone has just been uploading episodes about 4 months ago.
Okay.
And the concept of the show is you've got 6 contestants, and you go through the whole episode, cash trapping opponents, trying to earn money. Once you get to the last stage of the game, the person who's winning the show currently is pitted against the other 5 players. If the person who's winning is able to trap the other 5 contestants, they're able to escape with their money, and all 6 of them leave the show. A new 6 come in the next day. If the 5 prevent that one from leaving, that one person's earnings go away. Everything else that 5 have made that episode get banked, and all 6 of them come back the next day. So, as opposed to a game show that has a different cast of players every single day you play, you actually stick with the same cast of players until one of them finally escapes the show, and then all 6 of you are gone. You start with a new 6.
Interesting.
Yeah. Which.
And I'm seeing beginning series 2. Any contestant who wishes to leave the show at the end of an episode may do so, but must forfeit their money.
Well, of course, yeah.
They're replaced by a new contestant who starts with no winnings. Oh man.
I've so far watched the first 5 episodes, and it was quite the roller coaster. And for anyone who wants more than just like a Jeopardy style quiz show, you start getting attached to these players almost like in a traditional reality show, even though in a way game shows were the first reality shows. So
Yeah.
it just
Reality shows are just like, what if game shows, but you don't have to know anything?
I could talk about a reality show that I started watching this week, but I don't know if we can get into that.
I think we can. What's up?
Oh no. Well, Matt's left, so I don't know if I can.
No, I'm here. I was just getting my Game Boy flask that's full of booze.
Nice. So Lauren and I have been wanting to watch a trash show.
Lauren and me.
Oh! I know what's coming up.
Because we watched all of 90 Day Fiancé that was available, and now it's locked away on another subscription service that's literally the 90 Day Fiancé streaming service.
Yeah, it is.
Discovery Plus, which like is just, I guess, that and 8 million seasons of Dangerous Catch or whatever, but
Naked and Afraid too.
Naked and Afraid, yeah. So they just got all the shit on there. And also try and Google Naked and Afraid uncensored, and it's hilarious. Finding people trying to find that footage is just great. You're like, can you actually get this? Anyway, the show that we've been watching, and I hate reality shows in general, especially because most reality shows are just rich people porn, like poor people, rich people porn, where there's just like, oh, all these people are super wealthy, and it's just them fucking lounging around doing.
Well, I can't watch poor people porn anymore because OnlyFans shut down. So.
Oh,
actually,
no,
it got reversed.
That got reversed.
I figured
because they were like, "Oh, we won't make any money, so we got to reverse this."
MasterCard gave them the okay now, and they're reverting on what was going to happen. October 1st.
Well, they were probably like, "Oh shit, you don't want to process our purchases? Well, here's all the money you're going to be missing out on."
Yeah, and they're like, "Oh, never mind." Actually, so
undo.
Well, which is funny because I mean, I'm pretty sure all those like porn websites that you can subscribe to, you can probably use MasterCard on.
Yeah.
So I think they just need to be like, oh, okay, no, this is what it is, legitness. So I hate watching reality shows because a lot of times they're just like fucking that, or dating shows are just like, these are just people fucking around because they want to be on TV. Like, I like to watch reality shows where it's like actual like goobery people. Like
trash human beings,
human beings, like wanting to do stuff, and it's got to be about something. Like
you don't want to just watch a bunch of beautiful people from like Southern California because they were around and didn't have to be flown in.
So one of my favorite reality shows in the past was the Total Divas WWE reality show, where it was all of the women wrestlers going around doing stuff and then having like dumb shit happen in their personal lives. But it was interesting seeing a little bit behind the scenes of like them setting up costumes, and it was like, this is interesting. Like I can get behind this because it's like, you know, fun people, and doing their dumb rich people stuff, but also there's like a bit of like, let's do training. So there's some level of like tied to reality with this. So we're trying to figure out, and that's why 90 Day Fiancé was great, because it's like real people trying to actually get married, and it's not like they're actually like legally binding themselves to people. So there's like real repercussions of this, even though it's full of goobers, and it's seriously one of the best shows ever. There's like a million spinoffs though that are the trash that you don't want to watch.
90 Day the Single Life.
Yeah, it's just Anyway, so Lauren was watching this reality show, and she asked me if I would watch it. And the reality show is Dance Moms.
I've seen quite a bit of this already. This is a Lifetime reality show, isn't it?
It's a Lifetime reality show,
Yeah.
and it's about the Abby Lee Dance Studio. And it is about these little girls, ages like 6 to 15 or whatever.
Yeah.
Or in the first season, I think the oldest one's 13. And they go to regional dance competitions, and they go to the national dance competition. And it's just kind of like filmed, and it is every bit as insane as you can imagine.
They like do a dance competition every week, learning a freaking new choreography from scratch, and then end of the week going to competition.
And the best part about it is, the producers understand what they're doing, because they will cut after like a mom is screaming about how her kid isn't getting enough attention and needs to have her solo dance, and then they'll cut to the kid who's like, I just want to eat chips. And then, like, they cut back, and it's like, oh my god, they know what they're doing. Like, the kids are like, I don't really care that much about dancing, I just like having fun. And the mom's like, my daughter will be on Broadway. It's just like, oh my god.
Where are you watching
Abby
this?
Lee,
It's on Hulu.
Abby Lee, the head of this dance company,
is an insane person. She's
Yes,
committing
absolutely.
a felony while you're watching the show, because she went to prison after the show, and she had to take a break after one of the seasons to go to prison for a year, because it turned out she was doing felony tax evasion during the entire show.
Of course.
I looked this up. She owed the IRS over $400,000 in back taxes, and then she started doing the show, and then created a bank account that the IRS didn't know about, that she was funneling show money to. And then she was like, oh, I gotta go to prison now because of this.
Oopsie,
Which is pretty amazing. She's a terrible person.
Yeah, every week she ranks her dancers on this
Oh my god,
pyramid.
ranks them in front of their parents.
Yes.
And like bitches them out in front of everyone for doing shit. You can't argue with the results though, because it's very obvious, at least in the dance world, that she is very prestigious, because they win everything.
Yeah, just
like,
about
all the time.
Not
to mention
the team, like the team dance, like if they get a second, that is devastating for them.
Not to mention that at least multiple of the people that are on the show are professional dancers now.
Yeah.
Including Maddie Ziegler, who was in those Sia music videos, who she saw on the show Dance Moms and was like, I want her to dance in my music videos. And now she's an actress and doing like Broadway. Like, these people obviously went on to, like, if they wanted to dance, some of them didn't, but it's like, it's obviously like very like, this is just, it's the world of the insanity of these
because
people yelling at each other all the time, and the children crying because they don't want to dance anymore, but their moms are forcing them to.
Because their moms and the kids are just as much the focus as Abby Lee, the crazy lady, is. Like once in a while, like one of them will just stop going to Abby Lee, and there'll still be a set of cameras following them in their new venture, practicing and whatnot, because it's all about the craziness and the crazy parents.
It's pretty insane. It's like Stage Moms, the show,
and like they've got cameras up in the parents viewing area, just watching the moms rip at each other when the kids can't hear them. It's the best. It's
a really good show, and I talking about why I think I appreciate it as a really well made show. Doesn't do insane amounts of like foreshadowing and cuts and shit that reality shows will do, where they'll like show this week on, and it'll be like all this crazy shit, and then like it won't happen until like 2 minutes left in the episode or something. There's no sound effects, which I was talking to Lauren about. I've never watched an episode of The Bachelor, but you said The Bachelor is full of that, like all the crazy like sound work that gets done in like fucking reality shows, where they just have weird like music stings and like crazy sound effects when things happen. And it's like, that's awful. Like, I hate that. That's why I have a really hard time watching Kitchen Nightmares, because it is so overproduced.
It's all about Great British Bake Off for me.
And that's a good show. And that's like, a great one.
It is, because like the antithesis of all that.
That's why that show is so good, because it's just like, I want every one of these people to do well, because they're all nice and they're all doing this really amazing skilled thing. Like, it's just fun to watch.
It's not just a focus on technique, it's a focus on the people, and the people care about each other, because you know what the winner of Great British, well, I'm gonna tell the listeners because you guys already know what the winner of Great British Bake Off gets. Fuck all. They get nothing.
It's just, they have a wonderful time with their friends.
No.
Yes.
They get a glass platter thing trophy.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
And I think that they get most of them end up getting cookbook deals.
And usually Paul
Even the
Hollywood
people that
tries to
lose
fuck your
get
daughter.
them. Well, maybe.
So John, when you were watching Dance Moms, are you aware that you're not getting the full experience?
What do you mean?
Due to heavy criticism, the season 2 episode Topless Showgirls, which aired on March 6, 2012, has been removed from rotation. The episode features the young dancers performing a burlesque-style routine and wearing sequined flesh-toned bra tops to appear naked.
I will say that this is the show that makes me feel the creepiest. Because it is all preteen girls.
And the whole like dance, like the children's dancing is like littered with pedophiles.
Well, I was going to say, one of the biggest things that the parents complain about is how revealing and just erotic or whatever the dances that Abby Lee is making them do. And it's like this constant, like, is this too adult for them? Like,
now, just wait until you get later when the one mom... Okay, you'll know exactly what I'm talking about. When the one mom starts complaining that her daughter gets all the quote-unquote racist dances for her solos.
Oh, no.
Definitely, I've gotten to that. Yeah.
Yes, okay.
She's always doing the ethnic dances, which
weirdly enough, that's kind of stuff that get hired for, too. So it's good for them to know in the repertoire.
I was just about to say...
it does feel like they get singled out for that shit.
So that person and their kid left the show after I think the second season because they felt that the Abby Lee was racist and that.
Well,
but
she probably is.
I will say this. I mean,
she's from Pittsburgh.
Exactly. I will say this though. She does have an extremely good point of, well, actually all of Hollywood's racist, so you're going to have to learn how to do this shit because this is the only jobs you're going to get called for. And she makes the point, like, you're also going to get called for jobs that none of the other girls will ever get to get called for because you're, black. So that's a great plus. But also all the jobs, they're going to ask you to do these types of dances.
Yep. It's so the videos and the other stuff.
You're going to have a tragic backstory. Somebody you know.
I just like how they just lean into it. They're like, you know what? You got to learn this shit because you're going to be asked to do it. Because that's just the way that Hollywood is.
And that girl, one of the sweetest kids, though.
Oh my god, yeah,
yeah.
I like that you've seen a lot of this, TJ. Yes, it's good. It's a good show.
And that girl, it's good because... Barack Obama.
No, I would see it because my wife would be watching it as we were going to bed that night, and you just get hooked on this shit.
Well, it's good because
as long as she wasn't taking notes.
Well,
no,
it's good because
we've only got one kid in gymnastics right now. But that's it.
It's good because it's like one of those things that is good about reality shows is when they focus on like something that's interesting. Like with Great British Bake Off, it's people being good at baking, and this people being genuinely very good at dancing and like learning kind of the techniques and learning all the buzzwords of that and like kind of getting into that world and understand. It's just interesting. I'm learning things as well as seeing people be insane people.
I love like documentaries that will just kind of bring you into a subculture that you didn't have any idea existed.
Yeah,
and then you learn that there's all this like drama and history and everything.
Which is why I still wish I could purge my mind of how much Toddlers and Tiaras I've seen.
See, that's maybe too far for me.
It is. It really is.
What was that documentary about the tickle competition?
Oh, I was gonna tickled.
I've never seen that, but like that's like a whole.
Don't read about it because it's a fucking wild ride. Just watch it sometime.
I really wish I could watch it, but it looks like it's not available. It's on Tubi.
That's free.
Tubi's free.
Yeah,
Tubi's free.
Is it like? Do I just download that onto my thing and just watch it?
Yeah. Mm-hmm. You can get that on your Roku, on your device. Yeah.
Okay,
free.
So I don't want to spoil it, but I want to let people know a little about it. It looks like Stephen Fry does the voiceover for it. But I'm just going to read the one line. It is a documentary, a New Zealand documentary about competitive endurance tickling.
Yeah. And you'll hear that and you'll think that's the weirdest part of the movie. Not even close.
So this is literally like fucking Tiger King. Is what you're telling me.
A little bit, yeah.
Okay, it just goes off on this insane tangent. Okay.
That description you gave me, John, makes it sound to me kind of like what kind of ridiculous thing like professional tag is. Have you guys watched professional tag on TV?
I have not, but I've heard of it.
Yeah. I think they
It's-
do, like, in the beginning of the documentary, they do mention that because this dude's beat is kind of just, like, covering weird shit like that for whatever Australian newspaper.
Okay, so if you Google professional tag, the very first thing that comes up that I'm watching is a one-on-one match between the boys and Ape Escape in the WCT World Championship tagging, World Chase Tag. And it's actually pretty incredible. It literally is parkour the competition.
Yes.
Because they're in like this arena with all this parkour shit, and they're just like leaping around obstacles to get away from each other.
Do they have cage matches?
Well, no,
No,
it doesn't seem to be in a cage, but
That would be
But
cool
you can't
because
leave
if you could like,
defined
climb.
arena. It's not that high. Yeah.
this is actually
I want them to
quite
bring back
awesome.
that Nerf thing from American Gladiators, the Nerf obstacle course.
I would like to also
Oh.
mention that World Chase Tag
Fuck. I
right
know what
here
it's called.
on YouTube
Assault.
has videos with tens of millions of views on it. So there are people watching this.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, there's also
Uh,
people watching wet, saggy Levi videos on YouTube. So
Okay, fair enough. WorldChaseTag.com. Vox article about tag becoming a professional sport. Remember the Tag movie?
No.
I think it was called
What?
Tag.
was it part of the
Caps lock.
Emoji Movie?
No, I think it was just called Tag, right? Yeah, it was called Tag. It had Jeremy Renner and John Hamm and Jake Johnson and Ed Helms. And you remember that's one where Jeremy Renner broke his arm making it? So then the Marvel movie he had a broken arm? Because
I have no idea what you're talking about.
So Tag,
This
American
does not
comedy.
exist in whatever reality I'm from.
the film is based on a true story published in the Wall Street Journal about a group of grown men who spend 1 month a year playing the game of tag, and they basically just every year for that month play tag, and the tag for them is like everywhere in the world, and they just kind of like find each other and tag.
Interesting.
But I guess Jeremy Renner broke his arm during filming or something.
That's like the most dangerous game mixed with Where's Waldo.
Let's see here. Tomato Meter gave it a 56, and Filmgoers gave it a 78. That sounds like an interesting concept. I guess they can't find one of the guys this year, and so they have to like try and
Is he
find
dead?
him. No, he's
taken
at
prisoner.
Alcoholics
And then-
Anonymous, I guess.
In order to complete the game of tag, they have to break him out of a mob facility where he's being held captive. Right?
It just seems like kind of a fun idea for a movie, but
So I got a very disconcerting notification on my phone 38 minutes ago.
oh, okay.
It says I've been on Reddit for 10 years.
Oh no.
Yeah, apparently it's my cake day. Not that I give a shit about it, but 10 fucking years.
Oh, that
Man, I
tag
miss-
movie has Thomas Middleditch in it. You love
I
him.
miss
really?
forums. Give me forums again.
Oh man.
I still go on forums, but
Most of the shit I
yeah.
search for, like the search results are just forum threads. And
Yeah.
it's like it's walking into a different world. It's crazy.
yeah, it's like
Look,
I mean, like, there's like, what was it? Somebody put like, oh yeah, 1939 is closer to 1980 than 1980 is to 2021.
oh shit.
Well, people that think stuff like that
You
just
wanna
need to
feel
fuck right
old?
off.
Now I hate when people go the other way about what in the future is closer than what was in the past. Like 2050 is closer than 1990 because I don't give a shit about the future.
Sorry,
because
not, not closer. It's just as far apart, 39
Yeah.
to 1980.
But I don't
You wanna
give a
feel
shit about
old?
the future.
Ed
Because-
Asner's fucking dead.
Yeah, I just saw that.
I mean,
He was like
But
that's one of
super
those
old.
deaths
He was
that's
like almost 100.
I was about to say, that's one of those deaths that's sad, but you're also like, man,
Didn't you die
that guy
like a
was
decade ago?
awesome, and he lived forever, and he had a great life. So,
I-
you can't feel bad. It's
He's
not like
been-
a Chadwick Boseman situation where it's just
Yeah.
tragic. Or
and
Trevor Moore from Whitest Kid You Know.
Oh yeah, yeah.
exactly.
The most fucking tragic death of all.
When you said
Yeah,
that
Ed
for a
Asner-
second, I was thinking the like Daily Show guy, but no, that's somebody else.
I just can't believe like his death is just so.
What do we know
insane.
what happened?
I'm looking this up because we're trying to find the cause of death is just called accident, and it was in his yard. So I don't know. My thought is
Final
he either
Destination
fell,
shit.
Yeah, exactly. He probably fell or got into, just something. Fell or I would assume electrocuted maybe if he was doing something. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
just something terrible.
Or a
terrible
lawnmower
accident.
blade spun loose and hit him right in the throat.
It's something. I think the problem, the reason why I think that one hurts me the most though is because I was starting to like rewatch some of the Weiss Kids, because I think they were talking about it because they put all of their stuff on like their own YouTube channel because I guess IFC gave them the rights to all their old sketches, so they were able to put them on. And they were talking about starting up like a new project together. You know what I mean? It's like, that like sucks because I mean, like you watch like before he died, like a week before, like they're live streaming like a D&D game together. And it's just like it's just so tragic. Like
it's like when Anton Yelchin died. It's like, wait, what the fuck happened?
Yeah.
Like
we're not going to get to experience like their incredible talent anymore. Ugh, just terrible, especially when it's an accident. Like with Yelchin was an accident too, right? Yeah. It's just
it was
so
like
tragic.
a super freak accident.
Yeah, his was like, okay, God. What the fuck? Like, how do you let that happen? You know what I mean? What did he do? Did he kill puppies or something? Like, because it was so convoluted. I don't think Trevor Moore is famous enough for us to know any more than that, details-wise, because I don't think TMZ is stealing medical records or whatnot for that.
Why not?
Let's
steal
like,
everybody's medical records.
How do you fucking die getting pinned between your car and a gate?
Positional asphyxia, man. Like if
I
it
will
pins
say
you in the
that.
right
Yeah, that is
position,
true.
you can exhale, but you can't inhale, and then slowly your lungs just get emptier and emptier.
It happened to fucking happens. Man, what do you think happened with George Floyd? Like that's the shit. Like you put a pressure point on someone, you might think it's okay, but like
I was gonna make a Gremlins reference, but that seems inappropriate after you brought up George Floyd.
Well, I'm just saying that it's pretty easy to actually strangle someone to death without you thinking you're doing that, because it turns out we're all very fragile, and this is going to be another thing.
Yeah, dude. Like if you're the type of person that gets into like fist fights at bars and shit, stop, because it's easy for that to accidentally turn into murder. Like,
you can kill someone.
You just have to hit somebody in the wrong spot and they're fucking dead. Like people are made of jello.
I think I talked about this when I got in my watching live leak videos, but like we're all just bags of like so it's be careful, like, because I remember specifically one video was just a car rolling accident where just limbs came off because they're not attached that hard,
Yeah, especially at the joints, we just come apart.
Parts just come off if you're going fast enough, so don't use your seatbelt. Like they're there for a reason.
Yeah.
Like
I saw a video of a man who didn't wear a helmet on his motorcycle, and he didn't have a face anymore, and he was still conscious and awake. And it seemed like a bad time.
I think the greatest like thing I've ever seen is Madison, and it has to do with helmets. And it is, there was a man in Madison who fell off his bike and had his head run over by a truck, like a fucking Amazon truck. And this was a few years ago, and he's fine because he had his fucking helmet on. Wear a goddamn helmet when you're on your bike because it saved his life. My helmet. Exactly. It's just like I don't know. People don't wear helmets all the time, and like I have ridden many bikes without wearing helmets in my day, but it's like one of those things that's just super easy, especially if you're in Madison, you're biking near roads, because there's just people are not paying attention.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. And like that, like, because I'm trying to think, the last time I biked was on Mackinac Island, where you can rent bikes and they don't give you helmets. You might be able to ask for one, but the thing is,
you might run into a horse.
there's not a lot going on that you're going to get into because it's all like bike trails and it's all pretty flat. So the chances of you killing yourself on a bike is pretty difficult because you're not going super fast. But also probably should wear a helmet anyway because, like you said, we're fragile. You fall the right way, you know. What's his name? Fucking A, dude.
Harry
Sorry,
Houdini. You get punched in the
I'm
stomach once and your appendix explodes.
Did you? We talked about this, but fucking, we're almost over time here. But
We'll
my
fix it in
God.
post.
Used video game prices. I'm posting
yeah.
a friend of the show, Sean Corse from the awesome podcast Famicom Dojo.
Yes.
Just shot an image from apparently it looks like pre-played in town, and he's just posting prices of games that are in the cabinet that is like closed off now. And it is, hey guys, if you bought video games and you own N64 and PlayStation and GameCube games, they might be worth assloads of money now.
Yeah.
I went
Just
through my
download an
game
emulator
collection,
and sell all your
and
games.
I realized my copy of Pokemon White version 2 that I've played maybe 4 hours of is worth like $100. What the fuck? Like it's just insane. So he posted there's a Castlevania Symphony of the Night greatest hits version, $140.
Mm-hmm.
That was $20 when it was a greatest hits game.
I played that on I play that on Xbox now because it was on the 360 arcade. You can still play that on Xbox One and Series X.
1,000-Year Door, $120.
Yeah.
I don't want to get rid
The
of my
thing is,
copy.
they're not
I got a copy.
making more of those. So
I know, but like it's the thing is that I just can't imagine. But the market has gone sharply up. I will say this: I was looking into this today. NES market is not actually going crazy. You can still get lots of shit for NES for pretty reasonable. To be fair, there were 8 billion NES consoles and 8 billion copies of Mario 3. So they're pretty easy to come by. But like you would think a game like Castlevania Symphony of the Night that got a greatest hits edition was popular enough to not be $140 used. You know, like
This is a grade though, so what's out there, you know, quality is definitely not there as much. But either way,
that's true.
I have it somewhere. I don't know. I think it's packed up in a box up north. But I still play the Xbox One.
Well,
version.
I guess this also disappoints me too because they got Silent Hill 2 for PS2. No, 3 for PS2 is $180.
Mm-hmm.
Fucking, I didn't think PS2 games would be expensive.
Pokemon Emerald's $200.
I have Pokemon Leaf Green. That's worth an ass load.
Yeah.
I just bought that for like $20 once, you know, back in the day.
I got rid of I lent it and I never got it back, but
speaking of lent it and never got back, I still have your copy of Perfect Dark.
Wait, I gave you my copy of Perfect Dark?
Did you have
Your
multiple
perfect
copies?
No. It's a copy I got from Alex.
Okay.
Because it wasn't mine originally, so I didn't even know I lent it to you.
from
Sorry,
Half-Life Alyx.
I have 2 copies of Perfect Dark, and I was like, I owned one because I bought one, I think, later, and then I realized that you had lent me one, and I never gave it back. So I have it. It's just in my
Cool.
N64 box,
You,
but
you know which?
it's not actually worth a lot. That one's only worth like $20.
Oh, I don't care. I can play it on Xbox too as well, but
Yeah,
because that's part of Rare Replay.
Yeah.
Which means you could play it. Fuck, what is it? I had lent to one of my coworkers when I was working at Noodles in Madison, my copy of Conker's Bad Fur Day.
Oh,
That game's worth a shit ton.
is it? So I saw tons of those for really cheap, and I'm assuming they must be repro cards, and that's something we
Probably,
didn't get
yeah.
into. And I want to talk about more, but it's like a whole thing. Because
We
so,
got
I don't know if
time.
you
We're
know about
still
this, Matt.
early in the episode.
No, we're not. But so we talked about some. TJ and I talked about this a little bit. I think last night, or the week.
Yeah.
Is I was looking for buying like used games because I don't know. I used to collect them and I have a lot, you know. So I was kind of going through. I use an app on my phone called My Game Collection, which is nice because it allows me to like keep track of everything I have.
I
Also,
should
if my
do
house
that.
were to burn down, I have a record of what I owned, so I can give that to the insurance company.
Yeah.
I was looking at there. I have some gems. I didn't realize. I have the N64 copy of Harvest Moon.
Oh yeah,
that's worth
fucking
$100.
Yeah.
Like there's all these crazy games so like the games that are really popular are stuff from franchises that are like really popular but were early, so like people didn't buy. I have the Metal Gear Solid for Game Boy Color, which is worth an ass load.
Shit.
Uh-huh. And it's just kind of crazy because it's like I didn't realize all this was worth that much. But there's things called repro carts, reproduction, and that's where they put a ROM in a cart that works on an N64. So it's not an original authentic copy. So
I was gonna I was gonna show you. I have the Pokemon Coliseum bonus disc for GameCube. That's worth a shit ton. Even though all it is a demo of Pokemon Coliseum, and this is how you get Jirachi in Ruby and Sapphire to fix your berry glitch. But I bought it off eBay for like $24 years ago.
Is it still are you still able to get Game Boy Player discs now? Do they make it like
they're hard to do? It's just easier to you can still use a Game Boy Player. There's something called GBI, I think.
Okay, I was about to say because there must be a fix for this now because. So I don't know if you know about this, Matt.
No,
but so the GameCube, like the SNES, had like a Game Boy Player attachment, but it was it was on the bottom, and it played Game Boy Advance and Game Boy games. It was like a Game Boy Advance that you could connect to your GameCube and play it on TV. But it came with a disc that you had to have in
something to
for
boot
it to
up.
work.
Exactly. To go look at this.
Everybody lost the disc.
Yeah.
But has that little piece of plastic, so it's like ridiculous. So I guess I was like, somebody has to have fixed this by now, like the boot disc problem and
yeah, because it's
like
just like a program that says, "Hey, look here instead."
Yeah. So right now, you can just get an Action Replay disc, which was the like the Game Genie.
Yeah, he just got something.
And he's got his Game Boy Player. So you just get an Action Replay disc and then a GameCube memory card that has an SD card slot in it, and you can just use it to do the boot.
Oh man,
it's like
nice. But otherwise, actually, they aren't as expensive as I thought. I thought they were way more expensive, but they're like $50 to $100 depending on eBay prices. So I thought it was like insane.
There's my Coliseum bonus disc.
Nice. So yeah, so used game prices are crazy, but I think the thing I was going to point out I'm sad about is and maybe I'm going to comment on this is that I kind of wanted to go to Preplayed to look at stuff, but like he's saying the prices are kind of insane there, which is like, ah, shit.
Well,
so they're
also just use anything is fucked up right now because everyone's trying to tighten their belts. So like nobody's buying new cars. The used car market is insane. Same with used bikes.
Now I can say my favorite GameCube game. I did get the Mario Golf for the new system, but this is my favorite Mario Golf game.
Is that the GameCube one?
Yeah.
Nice.
Mario Golf Toadstool Tour. How much is this running for, John? I'm guessing that's what you're looking up right now.
Oh, I'm not looking up Toadstool Tour. I'm kind of pissed that I didn't buy that California Games.
Look up Tolstoy Tour for TJ.
I'm looking up right now. It's fine.
So there was a California. So there was a California Games mint in box at the game store that's near where I live that I told you about, TJ. I forget the name of it.
Oh yeah, Game Exchange.
Game Exchange, yeah, video game exchange is what it's called.
Yeah, I went with Matt.
Okay,
yeah,
cool.
That place is cool. Too bad we didn't
they had a mint,
give them any money.
They have a lot of mint in box stuff for sale as well as like just some really expensive shit. And so they had a California Games unsealed mint in box, and this is complete in box, not even
NES
sealed. NES.
Okay.
I think they had it for like it was like $30, and I was like, I should have bought it.
You should have.
Because
when they got away.
Well, because I'm looking at this now, and the game is really cheap. Not complete. Just the this because it fucking sold 1 million of them. There's $12, But like a mint version, I can't even imagine because I'm not even seeing one listed. I'm seeing complete in box opened for 100. That's with a pretty torn up box. Like Jesus, the prices have gone insane on, and yeah, that's a whole discussion we can have on a different podcast because it's late. But the market for video games has gone insane, and that's why the prices have gone up so much.
Yeah,
collectors
are these things that aren't available on like classic, like the Nintendo eStore and stuff?
Aren't.
Yeah, so like I would say stuff like Chrono Trigger, is probably worth a lot more because you can't really play it on a lot of stuff.
No.
Can I play Perfect Dark on my Switch? Is that the one? Is that the horror one?
No. So Perfect Dark is owned by Rare and Microsoft now, so you're probably not going to play that.
It's like if GoldenEye was more future and sci-fi.
There's some game with dark in it that was a horror game.
Yes, Eternal Darkness. Requiem.
I want to play that.
Oh, that one's really expensive.
Yeah,
nobody bought that. So I guess the thing that's really happened lately is that there's multiple places. There's WATA and VGA, and they're video game grading companies where they grade mint in box games, and seal them for you, basically in like a graded case, just like how they do with like fucking baseball cards.
Okay.
And that's become really huge as a thing with like scores and everything, and that's why the prices have gone like crazy, because Video Game Authority is the one, and then there's the newer one called the WATA, which is really shady actually. Carl Jobst did a video on YouTube about how shady it is, because the people that own that grading company also have ties with the auction house that's selling the games, which is an extreme conflict of interest. If you own the auction house and the people doing the price grading on things, is a little sketch, especially because there was that copy of Super Mario 64 mint in box that went for $2 million or $1.5 million when it was sold for, I think, $160,000 maybe 5 years ago, which is an insane jump in price, which people are thinking that they're doing sham bidding and doing some speculation bubble happening right now with games, especially because you can go on rally.com, Matt, and if you want to, instead of buy cryptocurrency, buy shares and copies of mint versions of games.
Now, can I do that without money?
Trade out. But like, that's a thing that exists now. If you go to rally.com, you can buy shares in a mint N64 Super Nintendo or game or NES game, and then when it sells at auction, you'll get a cut of the profit. It's fucking
you can always trust finance people to find an additional layer of complexity to add to something.
Yep. So yeah, it's kind of bullshit. So it's just insane. So trying to find copies of older games can be very difficult right now, or very pricey, which is really disappointing, because I wanted to go. I got a $50 bill that I got as a gift from my parents for going out to their house and watering their garden and stuff when they were on vacation. And I want to spend that on something stupid and fun. And I was like, I'm going to go to the fucking retro game store and buy a retro game that I want that I don't have. But it sounds like NES is pretty good, but I have almost everything I want.
Yeah.
I don't have an NES currently, which sucks.
SNES, I have almost everything I want. The only thing I don't have is Earthbound and Chrono Trigger, which are impossible to purchase for a reasonable amount of money.
Yep.
Let's see how much Earthbound is going for. Especially because I think you can play Earthbound on the NES Classic or Super Nintendo Classic, right? Or is it not on there?
I think so. I know it was part of the Wii U Virtual Console, which I need to fix my Wii U to play it again.
Earthbound SNES Classic. I'm gonna look. I think it is. Yeah, SNES.
And
Classic
you can find
edition.
me at matthagmusic.com.
So that's the thing with Chrono Trigger, is not on the SNES Classic Edition, which is really disappointing, because that's like, if they had Chrono Trigger, it would be pretty much a complete best of the SNES, missing some things here or there.
Yeah, Final Fantasy 3's on there.
But I mean, it's got Super Mario RPG, which is hard to find. It's got it's got Mario World, Yoshi's Island. It doesn't have Mario All Stars, which is missing, but you can play on the Switch.
I was upset it didn't have Pilot Wings, but Pilot Wings came out on the Switch as well.
Yeah, but I mean, it's got Final Fantasy 3. It's got some of the big third-party stuff. It's got Earthbound.
Mega Man X.
It doesn't have Chrono Trigger.
Yeah.
That's like probably the biggest, most popular game for the SNES that's not on there. So, remember the fucking PlayStation 1 Classic, huh? That nobody bought?
No.
I still want the controllers because they're USB.
I kind of wish I would have bought one now because I got to imagine the price on those is gone. Oh yeah. Do you want to? Oh my! Are you fucking kidding me?
New in box for what? 140?
No, but they're like going.
If I
for
had
like
one,
80.
could I trade it for a graphics
They were giving
card?
them away for like $30.
Yeah,
like
30
a
or
while
20.
ago.
Yeah.
Now they're selling for $75 on Amazon.
They were originally 80 or 100.
They were not. I think they were $70.
I thought they
it
were.
only
80.
it only comes with one controller
and no power cord.
I'm gonna look at the price change.
Is it
price history for it?
What is
or no
the
power
power
block?
cord?
Sorry, it's a USB, mini USB.
Oh,
sorry, micro USB. Micro
okay.
USB. Mini would be better because micro USB cords just get.
Oh
fucked up
my god, no! They weren't selling it for that much.
I thought it was 80.
No, it's more. It's 100. It was $99. Are you
Oh,
fucking kidding
I remember
me?
that because that's
thinking,
the price and the amount of games that came with it were the only reason I didn't get it.
Yeah.
So it has Final Fantasy VII.
It has Intelligent Cube, which I wanted to get,
And Metal Gear Solid.
Yep.
And the first Resident Evil.
And no analog controller.
But that's insane that it doesn't come with an analog controller.
Yeah.
Especially when you have multiple games on this that would have been that. But what was the games that were missing from it that were huge? What was everyone expecting?
Well, I was expecting Cool Borders, but
Oh god,
I
Cool
love
Borders.
Cool Borders.
I love that game.
Everyone else
So
had
cheesy.
1080 snowboarding. I had Cool Borders.
All right, so I'm looking at the top selling.
I had the
PlayStation
demo
games.
for Cool Borders for the longest time. I think I did actually
So-
get the game eventually.
Oh, that's it. It didn't have Crash Bandicoot, which is crazy, especially because that was published by Sony.
And
And
no
why
Spyro,
is that not on there?
right?
No what?
No Spyro?
No Spyro. No Tomb Raider. I don't think the first Tomb Raider.
Yeah.
It's like all these games that were like really like the game you remember from PlayStation 1. They're missing quite a few. Which is Tony Hawk's Pro Skater. Of
Well,
course.
I know why. That's obvious.
I know why as well, but like, come on, make that fucking work, guys. Like, that is the game I broke. No FF Tactics. It's just like, come on, guys. They didn't try. They didn't try very hard. They just kind of jumped on the bandwagon. So they are still selling for cheaper than what they MSRP'd for. But they were down to like $30 at one point.
I think it was both the SNES Classic and the Genesis Classic that were 80.
So I've got a really ripped apart, torn up Earthbound with tons of scuffs on it with Hollywood Video stickers all over it.
Nice.
$275.
Yep. Not surprised.
Oh, Paper Mario, only $30. I thought that was
Really?
Oh, these are repros. These got to be repros. I see a $22 version of this. It's going to be a repro.
Original Paper Mario, that cartridge is heavier than other N64 cartridges.
I have that one.
Yeah.
Let's see here.
Lift it up and then lift another N64 cart. You'll know what I'm talking about.
So there is absolutely no way that so like TJ and I were talking about this, how it is incredibly illegal for them to be selling repro carts. Because when you imagine like, oh yeah, downloading ROMs, that's illegal. How about selling a copy of a game? Like, that's insane. It's so illegal. I have Mario Party 3, which is worth an ass load apparently. And Mario Party 2.
The first one.
But looking at this listing, it in no way says it's a reproduction cart. It just says US version, brand new and high quality, English language for Nintendo, game cartridges only. This is clearly a Chinese, like, or not English at least. No retail box, no save manual, save function. Yeah, come on. They don't say if it's a repro or not. So it's a repro. Like, you'll see a lot of the real listings say original or that, but like, yeah, you can't. Anything that's affordable is a repro, and I hate it because it kind of ruins the market, because now there's just basically counterfeit N64 games, which is bullshit.
Yep.
And great, 52 sold for $30, so awesome. But then again, if I want to play on my N64 hardware, I don't want to spend fucking $100 on this game.
Yeah, I think I'm probably going to get a repro of Pokemon Emerald. I just want it, and I want something playing on hardware.
Exactly. That's the thing, is that like, you just impossible. That's one thing I love about my R4 cart I have for my DS.
Yeah, I got one of those too.
Is that I can play games on there. And then actually, the funny part is that I own most of the games I'm playing on it, but that way I don't have to put the card out. I just play it
Exactly.
on there. It's great.
I actually so we were talking about Dragon Quest IX the other day, yesterday, and I have both the actual game, but I also have it on the R4, and I got to the point in both games where you could actually play co-op just to see if that would work from the R4. It absolutely does.
This is like $130.
Yep.
With the manual in box.
Up until about like 3 years ago, they were still Square Enix was still making new copies of Chrono Trigger for DS that you can still buy off their website.
Like, that's expensive as shit.
Yeah.
Pokemon Diamond. Like, it's just, DS games have gone up in price.
Yeah, I've got Pearl and Platinum for that gen. And then both Heart Gold and Soul Silver.
We gotta end. It's late.
Boo doo 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 doo. I don't have the music.
I kind of want this Earthbound Repro cart now, though, because you just can't buy one.
Exactly.
Like, you just can't. It's just okay. I'm gonna drop $300 on a single game.
Website is borninthE80s.net. More importantly, join our Discord. Discord.borninthE80s.net. You can hang out with us. Watch our stupid shit we put in the memes channel.
Go to patreon.com/borninthE80s. And...
That's still there.
Is it?
It is not. Nope.
Oh, you took it down?
No, it got automatically taken down.
Why?
Because you didn't post anything for like 3 years.
I was not posting to it ever, so.
Oh, okay.
They just removed it. Yeah.
All right. Well, you can support our podcast by going to patreon.com/Mercury Stardust and pledging there. Just putting the notes for Born in the 80s.
I want her on the podcast because I've never spoken to her yet.
She can't come on the podcast because she comes on the podcast, then she'll be linked to all the stuff that she said way back in the day and will be canceled. So.
Look, I've been telling you, nobody cares about Twitter anymore.
Well, I was gonna say, like, people don't get canceled because of their podcasts, but some journalist hero listened to that fucking Jeopardy guy's hundreds of hours of that guy's podcast to find the awful shit he said. So people are willing to do it if it's a high profile enough thing. So.
Or if you just inexplicably have like a ton of enemies, which like if you're trans on TikTok, you suddenly have a huge group of enemies that will like just want to destroy you for no reason.
That is something I've heard about the trans community from many trans creators, is that there is a lot of really bad blood in that community between. Well, not even
I'm just talking about like
I've heard from in the community itself, like just a lot of gatekeeping that's real bad.
Yeah,
but that's what I've heard. But then again,
hi everybody.
Intimately, go to watch her TikTok channel. It's awesome. There's really cool shit in there. Yeah, it's well done. That's how you can support us.
And my apartment was in one of them. My apartment was content.